they say they're supposed to protect and serve. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when my brother got killed, I had to pick him up. I had to everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Dang.
I got chills.
Yeah, bro. I can't even imagine having to pick my sibling up. Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Kites here with my lovely wife. It's just Alex.
What's up, peoples?
Hey, Arlette didn't drop today. Shame on her. I'm just playing. Hey, y'all gotta understand, Arlette's gonna start moving her content to different stuff. She's starting to get a little tired of the Pop the Balloons, I imagine. So y'all gotta expect some days she ain't gonna drop no more. But you know, shout out to BM what they do segments. Anyway, so today we gonna give you guys something just to make sure we give you guys consistent content. We're going back to Tommy G, my GOAT. Alright, inside South Dakota's most dangerous hoods. So apparently y'all South Dakota boys been getting down. So let's see how y'all really been rocking.
Who lives in South Dakota?
She ain't mean that South Dakota.
Rapid City police are on the lookout for several suspects following 5 shootings in the last week.
In the last few years, the Rapid City Police Department has seen an uptick in violent crimes.
South Dakota getting down.
You know who live in South Dakota?
South Dakota getting active, boy. What you talking about?
Dude basically said, hey, I'm coming back. I'm shooting up this whole show. I had to pick my brother up after he got shot, you know?
I never planned to be 50 years old, ever. I thought I would be passed away way before that, you know.
My daughter, you know, supposedly she was accidentally shot by another guy there with a gun.
Hey man, they get active out there. I was supposed to be in Dakota.
At first,
North.
you might guess that South Dakota.
The North Dakota.
Yeah, the South is different.
The South is
South Carolina is different from North.
Hey man. Hey, don't let her disrespect y'all North Dakota. Say y'all get active too.
Dakota is a very safe place, and that's up for debate. Nationally, it's actually ranked somewhere in the middle, and it's more dangerous than states like Kentucky, Florida, and Illinois. Now, for
more dangerous than Florida and Illinois is crazy.
Oh, they got the Florida man out there.
Yeah, the Florida man.
Most South Dakota citizens, it is reasonably safe. But if you are a Native American man, it's a different story altogether. You see, Rapid City is South Dakota's most dangerous city, and Pine Ridge is the most dangerous reservation. And together, these two share kind of a strange relationship. It's kind of like Chicago and Rockford, where you have gangsters going back and forth to flee from the law. And in Rapid City, shooting has been on the rise, and most of it is tied to Native gang activity. And here's another interesting fact about South Dakota. It is arguably the most incarcerated state in the country. Some estimates say that up to 7 out of 10 Native men will serve at least once in jail or prison. And
dang, bro, y'all gang turfing on reservations? Dang, right?
Well, if they're Native American, doesn't it belong to them?
Yeah, so that's like y'all gang beefing on a reservation. It's like y'all related to each other, right? If y'all supposed to be over there.
It depends who they're beefing with, but I get it.
Yeah, it's small world, man. Fight for your turf.
Of the state population, they make up nearly half of the prison and jail population. To investigate this further, we head to Rapid City and we dig into the trends of violence and incarceration. We meet with guys like Eric, a man who has served decades in prison and now is out advocating to stop the cycle. Vinny, a local rapper whose brother was killed at one of his recent shows. And of course, to really get into the mud, we make a stop at a local trap house. Join us as we go boots on the ground in South Dakota.
What's up with that sign in the back?
What? Huh?
What y'all mean by that? what y'all mean by that?
Y'all ain't even got no paws.
Quick announcement, folks. New shirt dropped on the
Shameless
site.
Hey, shout out to Tommy G. Love your merch, bro, but it's not what we here for. Shout out to you though. Buy his merch.
What?
Dang, he got that toolie, boy. Tommy G got the best editor, bro.
Yeah,
when I see these young men, I see potential in them. I see something that they could become, and I see the game lifestyle is mostly just taken away from what they could become. What needs to happen for kids that grow up in an area like this to say, I want to be an engineer or a doctor, or I want to run my own landscaping business, rather than I want to shoot somebody that's a lot like me that just happens to live in a slightly different part of my neighborhood. I don't know if we'll ever find that answer, but that's part of the discovery that we're on this channel. We're gonna dive into the most dangerous city in South Dakota. Buckle up, it's gonna be a ride. Tell us where we are right now.
We in Dakota Homes right now, this deep north, you know what I'm saying? Deep north side, it's a little dilapidated.
Bro, his eyes look tired, boy.
You know what's weird? Why is it weird for somebody else to see like another group of people's potential, but the group of people that they see, they don't see the potential themselves. Like how he said he can see this area being something better or different, but the people that are in it can't see that for themselves.
It's because when you're so deep in it and you already feel like the despair and like the walls are already closed off, it's kind of like those people with the expression of like the grass is greener on the other side, because you're so used to your grass being dead. Mm-hmm. You don't see the fact that your grass is dead because you didn't turn your sprinkler on. You don't see that your grass is dead because, you know, you didn't flip the soil a little bit. But somebody else looking over, they can see like, oh, if they just turn the sprinkler on, it could be fixed. You know what I'm saying? So it's because you're so deep in your environment and you're dealing with the day-to-day struggle of your environment. You're seeing, because you're on edge all the time, you're not able to take time to really look at the overall picture because you're more worried about what your neighbor is going to do. Are you and your neighbor going to have a shootout today? Are you and your neighbor going to have to,
right?
You know? But
not taking away from Tommy G, but assuming that he has not lived the lifestyle that they're living, how would you know the potential if you haven't, like, it's one thing visiting it, but you don't have to live it every day.
You don't have to live in the struggle to know that there's potential in it. Like if I go to a broken down neighborhood and I see they have an abandoned rec center, mm-hmm. I could be like, my natural mind would be like, man, if they just fix up that rec center, that would fix a lot of the problems that they got in this community, because now these boys would have somewhere to go spend their energy and invest in versus being on the street corner just chilling.
Yeah, but then when you have a city that doesn't want to invest in their people, but they'll rather keep stuff like this going instead of putting money to do that. It's kind of like,
yeah, but then that's not a Tommy G.
No, I'm not saying it's Tommy G. Yeah.
So that goes into like politics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it ends for us, because at the end of the day, it is up to the city.
Yeah.
Dated, etc., but there's a lot of love in the area, you know what I'm saying?
Get that fit on.
Ghetto is part of town right here, man.
Yeah.
It's our own little world over here, you know? Because it's like, even though we're so close to everything else, you can go right down the street and see business districts and shit like that. It's its own entity over here, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what goes down around here?
Drugs, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, and the dealings that come with that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? As far as robberies, as far as, you know what I'm saying, killings over a little bullshit, you know, an ounce of weed and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Somebody die over it. So it's like,
do you guys know someone that have died over an ounce of weed?
There's a quad, bro.
Yes.
Over an ounce of weed?
7 grams. 7 grams.
A quad, dude?
It's
bro, that's what, $30? I'm
I'm
just saying it out loud.
I'm about to say, what you asking me for?
I'm just saying it out loud, bro.
No. Hey, you good? You good, man? Dang, you good? I'm just...
Do you guys call it a quad around here?
Yeah. Yeah.
I picked up many of quads in my day. Never have I ever thought about I was gonna die over it.
Dude didn't expect that night either, you know what I'm saying? I went to prison for possession of marijuana. It was my first charge I've ever caught in my life. The judge was just a little hard on me, you know?
How long did you serve for marijuana?
He gave me 6 years and suspended 5 of it. So I only...
6 years?
Yes. For possession of marijuana.
How much marijuana are we talking?
It was a pound, you know what I'm saying? So my charge was possession of 1 to 10 pounds. So it didn't matter if I had 1 pound or 9.5.
Was that technically a felony then?
Yes, it is. At the time, that was a different time in my life. And I was, you know, playing loud music, drinking, driving, doing the most, you know, being sloppy with it.
So you got pulled over in a DWI type of situation, and then they searched the car for weed?
They smelled weed immediately. I just, like I said,
were you chiefing it big time?
Yeah, okay. I was smoking when they pulled me over. I try to play it off. I try to give them my blunt piece and be like, this all I have, sir, you know? They weren't going for that though, so.
Whew, man, hey, I'm sorry that you went through that, but some of y'all be in these situations because y'all don't
actively choose.
Yeah, actively choose. There's 2 things. Like I'll never. If you want to smoke weed and drink, do it in the safety of your own home, because you people, you social drinkers and all that. If y'all don't got nobody designated to drive y'all or whatever, like bro, do it at home, because the reason why it's a crime is because there's too many people that are lost because somebody's under the influence of alcohol or drugs and they crash and they live and then the person died.
Why does living with survivor's guilt?
Why does somebody got to die because you want to have this moment? That's not fair.
Right.
Did that seem absurd that you could be put in a cage for weed?
Yes, sir. Dude, it changed the course of my life. You know, I had a very practical outlook on life in general. I was a real normal kid. I played sports. I wanted to be a nurse. You know, so it's like that.
Can you no longer work for a hospital now?
No, I couldn't get a job in Walmart once I got out of prison.
You can't even get a job in Walmart?
No, I was trying to show my little brother a different way. You know, like the lifestyle that we had got into, it was based off circumstance. And that's my history in Rapid City, essentially. A lot of people know me out here for like sports and stuff, but like
What'd you play?
I played football, basketball, I ran track, you know.
We head next to I Am Legacy, an organization focused on empowering Native people and helping ex-cons rebuild their lives. Founder Eric Brainswhite invited us to a roundtable discussion led by former inmates to tackle the tough issue of incarceration among Native men.
Like, you can't tell by looking at me or anything, you know, but I used to do the gang thing. And
if I was a Hollywood movie director looking for the role of like scary guy in the cell, you'd be like, oh, this is the guy we want, for sure.
Yeah. I left everything I've ever known in my life that I was good at and entered a life where I didn't know anything. I changed. Yeah, I never planned to be 50 years old ever. I thought I would be, you know, pass away way before that, you know. The younger you experience these violent things, it increases the likelihood of you repeating them in this community.
Dang, he talking his talk.
I think that goes for everybody.
That goes for everybody.
That goes for everybody.
That's why we focus on the youth. Yep. But one of the things that to help these guys, you know, kind of redirect their aggression a little bit.
Yeah.
So you come in here, tire them out a little bit, put them on the weight, healthy choices, healthy options. We also do drug court. This is where we offer AA, NA, things like that in here. And we know about that life. We've been there. That's why we care. And there is a way out. We found it. And that's all we're trying to show these young brothers.
If I see your shirt, Healing with Conviction, what does that mean to you?
That I'm coming with the truth. You know, I've lived it, been there, done that, and went through a lot of the struggles here. So I'm trying to heal with that conviction, and also with, you know, me being incarcerated as well.
See, and this is
see the growth in it though.
Yeah, and this would be making me mad is because there be people opening up nonprofits, taking all this funding, and they be doing some shady business with that, bro. Because there's actually groups of people actually trying to help people, and then it's always gonna be if 100 people are trying to do good, there's always gonna be 10 people that just want to do bad for the sake of doing bad, bro. Like
I think too, what I like is that it's the older generation taking accountability for their actions and the wrongs that they've done, and they're trying to like break the trend in the younger generation. But I think because the younger generation is so bold and so prideful, it's hard to receive like constructive criticism or correction or guidance because it comes off as you're trying to tell me what to do.
You looking down on me.
Yeah, but look at you type thing. And it's like, nah.
I saw one TikTok clip about it was like a black kid, and he's like, man, I'm tired of these old dudes always coming up in here trying to spit some knowledge or something to me. If I ain't getting no bread, I don't want to hear it. Next old man that come up here trying to spit this, oh, I can teach you, young blood. He's like, I'm gonna shoot him, bro. And I was like, whoa, like, you mad that somebody trying to help you?
That's the prime example why you need wisdom, because you can't even regulate your emotions enough to understand that somebody's just having a conversation with you to give you something to like hold on to in life. That's sad.
I was 18 years old.
If y'all know the TikTok clip I'm talking about, one of y'all link it, bro. That mug, I saw that mug and I just like, dang, bro, there's no hope.
I shot at some people here in town and
served 10 years.
At age 18, I was sentenced to 12 years in the South Dakota State Penitentiary. They shot at my family. Drove around, looked for them, found them, and 4th of July, 1996, I retaliated.
You have the most gangster Hello Kitty tattoo I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so
Can you tell me about that?
So I have a special needs daughter.
Okay.
So a lot of this is for her, you know. So like I have the wheelchair there for her. She loves Mickey Mouse. The don't count the days, make the days count. When we found out that she has a rare brain disorder, they told us she wouldn't see her first birthday. So we marked the date when we were told that. And
that was in 2011?
Yeah, grateful today she's 13. My first son, I wasn't there. Incarcerated, I missed his birth. and you know, just wasn't in the relationship, you know, there. And we meet my wife, and with Alejandra, our daughter with special needs, I learned to embrace that, you know, I needed to fully protect her. For me, quitting drinking is what helped to be able to get up. If she's having seizures, to be able to get up, you know, at a drop of a hat to assist her or assist my wife in her cares.
For me, it was the murder of my brother. He was down there at the Teddy Sports Bar and he was shot and killed. Calling me and asking me to come hang out with him at the bar, and I went down there to go see what he was doing. And as I was walking towards him, I heard a gunshot go off, and then my cousins told me it was my brother, my little.
Nah.
Y'all do stuff so irrationally and so irresponsibly, and it's stuff like this that gets our rights stripped away for certain things, and you just took somebody's life willingly.
It's like, bro, just seeing this, it's like, dude, like, it's the same story no matter what race you in.
Yeah.
Same story.
Yeah.
Same story. He was at a party doing his thing. Somebody didn't like how he was talking. Bam. It's like, bro, y'all think death is just so convenient nowadays, bro.
It reminds me of Freedom Riders. How like every race in Freedom Riders was going through the same thing, but they couldn't really see it until they were like
it all right in the same.
Yeah.
The brother, and it's just ever since then, after the past 3 years, I've just been getting incarcerated in and out of jail. I'm using my past as a tool to help better these children. Adults can't teach old dog new tricks, but we can save these kids. And by saving these kids, we can save this community.
Did about 18 years in prison.
That's a long time.
Where I grew up, Dakota homes, in the hood out here. It was kind of almost like an expectation at some point. You know, hey, you might end up going to prison. You know, from our neighborhood is drug and alcohol related. Every single felony, every single charge.
So non-violent offense.
Non-violent, all non-violent. I'm a 9-time felon.
Somebody sang it.
What brings you here?
the
I'm
body.
the youth navigator now.
How'd you get here though?
In 6th grade, I got in some trouble at school. You know, Eric used to be the diversion coordinator here in Pennington County, so I was his first ever youth to go to Legacy.
What'd you get into as a 6th grader?
A fight. This little kid called me a name, and I have gay uncles. It was a gay slur.
I think I can guess what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Woo! Hey man, let's stop using some of these. Like I said, let's start changing how we talk in general, bruh. Like everybody, let's start changing how we talk, man.
If you wouldn't want somebody to talk to you that way, don't talk
say it to
others
them, bro.
Or talk about others in that way. And that goes for anybody. That goes for us too.
Yep, everybody.
Yeah, and I reached in my locker to grab my backpack, and he slammed the locker door closed on my hand. I reached up with my left hand and I slammed his face against the locker, and I grabbed him up by his backpack straps and threw him across the hallway. I started kicking him while he was on the ground, and that's how I met Eric, and I've been coming back ever since. I was like 11 or 12.
Now he's 16.
Wow.
Dang. He got conviction though.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Hey, bro. What's happening, bro? Hey, man. What's up, man?
Like that was so
How you doing? All right. Good to see you, man. Water, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, we Legacy. We're deep up there, the homies.
Yeah.
We
I
got
respect that.
everybody from every clique in town.
I respect that for sure, because there's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, older folks that lead the youth astray.
I feel you, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't know no better when they're that young.
Nah,
like,
man.
we grow up in the shit we see, like we think it's normal, you feel me? Then you grow up and you have your own mind now, and it's
you know
like,
what? I want you guys to know how important you are to our people, man.
Word.
Hey, dang, that hit different. Shoot. Hey, some of y'all OGs, some of y'all 30, 40. Actually, 30 is not even an OG, but y'all more mature, right? You 40, 50, and I'm talking to the men exclusively. Sometimes y'all gotta, it don't hurt to show some love to the younger folk, bruh. I know some of y'all really be correcting us because y'all really are just, y'all don't want us to make the mistake. But sometimes, you know, say, hey man, good work. You know, hey, you doing your thing, bro. Some of y'all just be so ready to, it's y'all coming with good energy, but y'all giving us the harsh reality. It's like, yeah, but you weighing it. Hey, do this, you're doing this, you're wrong.
Sometimes it feels good to hear a little bit of recognition, like you're doing what you're doing, you know, keep going and stuff like that. But you know,
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of Hovey, when he came out with that one song after his daughter was born, he was like, dang, like people are really watching everything that I'm doing. And it took for this point for them to meet, for him to let him know, like, everybody from our end appreciates everything that you guys do. He didn't know that.
Right.
We don't need you wasting your lives on dumb shit, man.
Word.
You know what I mean? Don't get caught up doing dumb shit, man. But statistics say.
Put your time into that.
Absolutely, man.
Damn.
Right there.
Yeah,
right there, man.
What does that mean?
For your sacrifice.
Hey, tell them what it means.
Tell them what that means.
No, it's from Sundance.
Ceremony.
Oh, where you put the
piercing.
Sundance ceremony is basically a women's appreciation ceremony. We're showing appreciation to the women because the women get their blood every month, and like cleans their slate. That's our way of cleaning the slate. Even going into Ilipi. Ilipi stands for a sweat lodge. You go in there and pray. You're going in there to be cleansed. You know, cleanse what you be doing out here. You know, all those gangs and drugs out here, because there's not much opportunities for youth out here.
That is another factor.
You, bro.
Oh, this is my little brother. He passed away in 2022.
I heard about that, bro.
Yeah, man. He passed away in 2022 due to gun violence. That was our first show we ever were gonna have in Eagle Butte. It was gonna be a great turnout, you know. There was nothing but unchies and kids out there. There's free food, you know. Like, you never really see like 50 people out there for the openers, but that first person that was out there, there's like 50 plus people showing love, you know. We were gonna go on last, and there was a boy that was threatening to shoot the show months before, and we didn't really take it serious, you know.
Why every culture do that, bro? I swear, when you hear a hunk or something, I swear, like, I used to think that was exclusively like a black or Hispanic thing that we would do it, but I saw every culture got the same reaction. Like, we are so nervous, dog. We teed up.
You gotta keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah, bro.
You still in the hood.
We teed up.
We didn't even reply to his threats or anything like that, but it came down to the day of the show, 90-degree weather, and he's in the crowd with the same bag on that he's showing his gun on Snapchat every day, and with a mask on in 90-degree weather, you know. So I came and I tried to speak with him because I know what he was saying, and when I came and tried to talk to him, he got real abrasive and was like, "Why are you trying to check me? Get away from me!" Boom. And I'm like, "Look, man," and I grabbed his bag and I pulled it to me. I felt his gun and I said, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" But he's like, "Just get off me, get away from my bag." I don't want to freak everybody out and be like, "Hey, he got a gun." Yeah. So whenever the security comes up to me, I say, "Hey man, he has a gun." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I felt it." So he tried to escort dude away. Dude basically said, "Hey, I'm coming back. I'm shooting up this whole show." I look around, like I said, there's nothing but elders and kids, you know. My family's come all the way from Colorado to come see us. I'm like, we got to do something. And that's what the dude asked. He's like, "Please stop him. There's police around there and everything." The police didn't do shit. I had to pick my brother up after he got shot, you know. That's another just testament as far as where we don't really rely on the police, you know. That's vigilantes. Like the definition of a vigilante is somebody that gets justice by their own means, but while not involved in the law. And it's that bottom line that they don't look out for us. They say they're supposed to protect and serve. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when my brother got killed, I had to pick him up. I had to everything, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Dang.
I got chills.
Yeah, bro. I can't even imagine having to pick my sibling up. But I also can't imagine if somebody, as much as I'm a Christian, it's like I can't lie. There would be a heavy conflict if somebody took one of my siblings out off of some stupid energy. Like, to think that I would just be like, "Oh, it's all good." Like, nah, I'll be teed up.
Warning comes before destruction, though. I wish in that scenario
they would have took his threat seriously.
They would have took it more seriously, or they would have canceled the show entirely, or just not have went on. Like, whatever money you were going to make, it's not worth anybody's life.
Yeah,
like that's unfortunate.
Plus, man, I get a text message or somebody say, "Hey, bro, don't show up to this event. I'm about to shoot that mug up." Guess what? I ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, you can't. You can't play around. You can't play around with people like that, because you never know like what state of mind they're in, and if somebody's willing to show what like they're willing to do, believe them.
Yeah, shoot, I don't take nobody. I don't take threats. Hey man, you threatened me one time. Oh, bet. All right. Because now even if you joking, I'm gonna look at you like,
yeah, that's not.
It was still on your mind, so I gotta watch you now.
Yeah.
You need to come see us, man, because I got some opportunities for you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I lost my little brother too. He got shot and killed down at the Teddy Sports Bar.
Oh, word. Hey, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, rest his soul, bro. That's what I'm saying. That shit like that rocks the city.
Hey, this happened to every generation though. When I was youngster, my best homie got shot in the face at my house right up the hill right here, man.
Y'all all got the same story, dog.
Like just forever, man.
Police will come through here, etc., but they're not too quick to. It's in a suburban area on the west side or something. Something goes down, they're there like that.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're disposable.
You know what I'm saying?
All we get is each other.
Is it Rapid City PD or native police that is in this area?
Rapid City,
there ain't no
RCPD.
natives on our
There's no natives on the Rapid City police force? What percentage of the city is native?
at least a quarter.
Yeah.
You can't be in the position where someone abuses it with their power, and you can't be in the position where you abuse someone with the power that you're given, because you can be kind but never try to be submissive, and you can be strong but you can never be cruel.
We have a present for you, Vinny. Big dog's got to eat.
Yes, sir.
That's a hard little font.
Welcome to my gang. You know what I mean?
Hey, yes, sir. I was born with, but that's another story for the poor kids who always wanted some Jordans. Mamas couldn't afford them. Now they out there on the corner with drama from law enforcement. I could tell you about the horrors of wishing you was aborted, but since this life is a game, you ain't finna see me forfeit. I'm winning till I can't play, but even then I be scoring. There's some shit that's more important than them hoes that's gonna be swarming once they find out you recorded. Where are them hoes before then, huh?
Where was y'all before then? Y'all ain't hear him. Y'all ain't hear that, man.
Oh,
y'all ain't hear the bars. I'm saying.
Not the bars.
We're coming up to a grief meeting for moms that have lost sons to the street, I presume.
Oh, bro, I can't do it. I can't do it.
This is gonna be kind of a tough conversation. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
Good.
So we're covering sort of the streets, the gang life, and also just gun violence at a young age. What have you seen as a mom in Rapid City?
I've seen a lot of violence and a lot of killings. Not so much when I was growing up. There was, here and there, nothing like today.
You think it's worse now?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
There wasn't as much a gun.
Yo.
Dang.
Are y'all seeing the numbers? Rapid City went past national. Yo.
Crime index 100,000 inhabitants. Okay. Dang.
It's up to 2019.
Back when we were growing up at all. Everybody has a gun these days.
Are the guns in South Dakota in the hood, are a lot of them legal or illegal guns? You guys know?
Illegal.
Both.
Yeah, well now they've made it easier to get guns, so, both, yeah, I would say.
I guess, so what, are there any stories that can illustrate, what you've seen or what you've heard in the area that talk about gun violence and things?
Both of my children died from a gun.
Dang, both?
Man. Always had a gun. My older son, he always carried a gun. He's not anymore. He's 31 and a dad now.
What brought him out of the gang life?
His kids.
Now, gangs can be really attractive for a young man, right? Why do you think that is? And do you think it actually brings any benefit to their life?
I have my oldest son who I kept in every sport available. He didn't have time to do any of that stuff. But as soon as he hit high school, and that attraction was just immediate. He started then missing school and then running and getting in trouble. Whereas with CJ, he was kind of, I moved to Mitchell, moved all my kids there. They gradually came back here. They didn't like it there. So he was around it all the time. And to me, it seems like he kind of just, he still got his fights and ran around, but, he wasn't kept from it like I did with my older son. And I feel like he kind of, kept himself out of trouble, although, ultimately he died.
Dang. And you know what I think it is? I think the reason why the street life is so much easier to convince kids to get it is because the street life promotes a lifestyle that is unrealistic, that everybody wants. Like growing up, like I see the like, and it goes with how our teachers are, right? To see a teacher go, like, my teachers used to always complain about how hard life was and how they don't make no money. And the only reason why they do it is because they love the kids, but they struggle outside. Like, to hear that from a teacher, be like, dang, you're teaching me on how to succeed, but you're miserable or you're struggling, hit different. But then I see a thug outside wearing gold and he got the latest car and he got all the girls and all that. And he like, hey man, I'll shoot my life easy, bro. I'll just get rid of this and I'm good. Like, I feel like as long as the image of the bad boy, the thug lifestyle is always going to be visually appealing. It's going to always attract kids because you make the hard 9-to-5 lifestyle look so unrewarding.
And just imagine like how it looks from a POV, from a woman's perspective. That ride or die, that ride or die chick, that's the stuff that they typically go for.
From suicide. And then also my daughter, you know, I probably never know the real true story there, but you know, supposedly she was accidentally shot by another guy there with a gun.
I feel like teenagers, when they want to get into trouble, they find a way to do it.
Right.
Even if you have strict parents. I know firsthand, I had the strict parents of my friend group, and we still found ways to get into trouble.
Yep.
But do you think gangs offer anything positive? Because to me, when I look at it, it just seems like when you sign up for that lifestyle, you're pretty much signing up for incarceration or death, or you might be rich at certain points when you make a play, but for the most part, you're gonna keep losing that and have setbacks. Did you think it brought anything positive to your son's life?
No, and he had a good home life. You know, he had me. He didn't actually have his biological father in his life much, but once I got married, he had, you know, a stepdad, and he did not have a family home life.
It's because some of these gangs offer the facade of brotherhood or fatherhood, or it's that the reason why gangs are always gonna be around is because it's constantly the promotion of the ideal of you bleed just like I bleed, you struggle like I struggle, we can get this bread together. That's a brotherhood. And then if somebody mess with you, they mess with me. And if somebody mess with us, they mess with him. And it keep going, and it's this whole cycle, but it's a foundation built on lies. Because as soon as you die, I'm gonna light a candle for you, but I'm gonna get back to this money.
Yeah, I think the way that they're doing it, like how they're doing it now, as far as this specific group, of how they're trying to pour back into the community, they're trying to keep people off the streets in a positive way. And just like how they said, they can't rely on the police to protect and serve. So you got to fend for yourself. So they're going to take care of their little community, their cul-de-sac. I feel like that's okay. But when it gets into the
territory,
when you cross the lines of like illegal activity or abuse or drugs and all that kind of stuff, I feel like that's just too much.
Yeah.
You know, like if you ask like hardcore Republicans, they'll say like the reason gangs happen is the absence of fathers in the household. What do you think?
Which is true.
Well, I was lucky enough to have a dad. Like I said, my older kids, their dad was never really around. I know it makes a difference, obviously, but it seems just to be so common now that I don't think most of us that have grown up on the north side really give it much of a thought. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else.
It just become kind of normal and ingrained. Yeah. There's a lot of young men, some of them with shiesties on. What kind of advice would you give to them as they're pursuing some of their options in life?
Well, you know, and I've gotten to have a lot of good relationships with a lot of my kids as their friends since they passed away. I see things a lot differently now. I mean, I would give anything to have my kids back, and, you know, obviously I would never wish this on anybody, but I do think it's humbled me in a way that I can relate to them more. I understand them more. I think a lot of them feel comfortable talking to me, and I think they, you know, feel better talking with me just because they feel closer to CJ, because my son, you know, I had a lot of friends, and I would just, you know, tell them to set an example for my kids that are here, and let them see what they can do with themselves, you know, because that would make them very proud.
Is there high poverty rates in Rapid City?
Yes, definitely.
High. Okay, because I think that's one of the magic questions. How do you bring economic opportunities back to an area like this? We've had so many jobs in this country go overseas and never come back. Yeah. So like to me, that's the thing, is like, how do you reverse the wheel that is spinning?
I think Kenny is a good one for this question. He owns this business and he's hired several people. And he might have some input on that just because he's given people multiple chances and still does.
I was, I guess, one of the lucky ones out of the whole group of guys I was with. I mean, I was considered one of the original TBC guys. And
That's one of the most notorious gangs in the north side?
Yeah.
TBZ is slang for the boys, and this is the name of one of the most feared native gangs in the country. And with roots that run deep in South Dakota and Minnesota, TBZ has both power in the streets and the penitentiary. Captain Tony Harrison, chief investigator for Pennington County Sheriff's Office in Rapid City, says that he has seen photos of toddlers dressed in gang attire and that it's not uncommon to see boys as young as 8 and 10 throwing up gang signs. Eric and Kenny were among the founding members of TBZ decades ago, but against all odds, both are now leading lives that give back, and they use their lessons of their dark past to try and create a hopeful future for the youth.
Yep, and that's how it go. I don't got no father in my picture, so I'm gonna go to the streets, and my gang leader gonna be my father, and my brothers are gonna be my fellow gang members. And then when I have a kid, I don't want my kid to be a pushover, so my kid gonna follow my example, and I'm gonna grow him up with my hood and my set because this is my family. Yeah. And when you grow up, when you catch your first body, we gonna be proud of you. We gonna pour one out with everything. And then when you get a rank and I get too old, I can't run the streets no more. You gonna take over for me, and you gonna put our little son, you gonna put him in here too. And it's a cycle.
I feel like the world has a good way of making those like that are minority or just people in general feel so like suppressed and feel like they don't have any other choice but this. But I feel like at some point, like how for our situation as Black people, we deal with a lot of systemic issues in our community, just like every other race of people. But I can only speak for us. But I feel like because we have these systemic issues, and statistically, this is what the world has deemed us as, and this is what we're going to succeed in and not succeed in. I feel like we have to go beyond what the statistics and the stereotypes of our norm is, and like really push and strive for that. And I understand that like there's certain things put in place to make sure that we stay down at the bottom, but I feel like
it's also that crab in a barrel mentality.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we see somebody get out,
we trying to latch on to them in the wrong ways,
and they coming back down with us.
Yeah.
So you got yeah. So you got my brother, and there were several of us. It started out with like over a dozen of us. Out of all of, I mean, almost every one of them went to prison but me.
How did you avoid prison?
Well, I think one of the things that stuck in my head around that time was my mom. My mom started going to meetings. She started going to AA meetings, and at that time, I used to look at her like, oh man, she must be really messed up. She's got to go to meetings. She's got to do extra things to stay sober. And my whole thing was backwards. That was when I was in my drinking time too. And for me, it was like, that was one of the things I came back to when I did sober up. And it was getting in a relationship at that time that helped me kind of come out of that rut. And then kids, that was the other thing. And that kind of opened my eyes up to my drinking and my drugging. And one thing led to another. And next thing you know, I've been doing this for over 30 years.
Dang.
And that's what keeps me motivated, is my work. And throughout all that whole time, I've stumbled a few times. I went back out there and tried it again. That lasted a short time. But I knew what was better at that time. I guess that's the core of it for me, is getting some kind of a structure in your life to go to, your positive. And for me, it's meetings, my business, my relationships. Today it's better, but it took me a long time to get to this point.
It's amazing how many times it can take doing the same shit over and over to learn the lesson properly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The trap house plays a key role in the hood, so we head to one to better understand the underground economy and the role guns play in Rapid City.
So we're on a trap house in the north side of Rapid City. Is that fair to say, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dang, bro. Boy.
Yeah, I liked everything that he said too. I liked everything that he said, but unfortunately, there are some people that don't get to experience like that feeling of, oh, my kids made me change my life. This made me change my life. So I feel like for those that are struggling and they feel like they don't have a means to like want to change, if you want to wake up the next day, that should be enough change for you to, get it together.
Right.
I noticed a lot of artillery as I was coming in here. What are the gun laws like in South Dakota?
So they're pretty strict. Like anybody from the age of 18 and up can possess a firearm.
Bro, he got a drum on that mug.
Pretty strict. Like anybody from the.
Oh wow.
Who need that? Who are you shooting at that you need that much ammo, dog?
That's too long now.
Age of 18.
Yeah. Who is your ops?
For handguns, it's a little bit more strict, but for rifles, at the age of 18, you can go to the store, you can purchase it. Like, they're pretty lenient for that type of thing, but when it comes to, like, having that with, say, like, an open container or, like, any type of marijuana, it kind of gets bendy.
Okay, I noticed some cash on the table here. What are you guys in the business of?
It's like the dispensary that you don't need a med card for, kind of.
Okay, so are the marijuana laws here harsh?
If you don't have a green card, yeah. If it's not raw marijuana, it gets bad.
You fellas own any pistols?
Yeah.
Double wielding?
Bro, he got a Kimbo.
Do you guys have people coming in and out of here all the time?
It's more of a stop, say what's up, like handshake, walk away type of deal. It's not like how other businesses are where it's as much as in and out traffic of the house. It's more of on the street.
How would you describe the north side of Rapid City as someone that's never been here?
It can be a very nice place, but it can also be like rough. I don't want to say very rough because I've been to other places that are a lot worse. I'd also say it's not the best place.
Does it blow your mind that in 2024 people can still go to prison for selling weed?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I think it's kind of ridiculous because at the standpoint where like I'm sitting at, like I don't see it being like that big of a deal. If I smoke that, I'm not gonna go out looking for somebody or trying to be crazy. You take a fentanyl pill or you smoke meth or you do something like that, your mind's not gonna be in the same place.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it just for the same stance of like, just how you're saying like, oh yeah, like I could just smoke and I'll be fine, but look how far you're willing to go for it. And you're willing to stand on a corner with guns in your pocket to sell it so people can have it.
Right. And it's like, you even said it yourself, like, if it's not law marijuana, then it's not legal. A lot of times they're not selling law marijuana. It's always there's always different strands.
Yeah, because y'all trying to push it.
It's laced, all types of stuff.
Right. So and this is the crazy part. It's like, oh, I don't think people should go to jail for it. It's like, bro, they made weed legal and y'all still
do it illegally.
Y'all still do it illegally. That's the crazy part. They made it legal so y'all can have it, and y'all still gotta push it further than that. And that's why I say it's an addiction. People wanna do it, all that. They wanna say all this and all that. It's still an addiction, just like we say alcohol is an addiction. And guess what? Majority of alcohol is legal and it's still an addiction.
Yeah.
Y'all telling me y'all can literally go get a green card and get the legal marijuana, but y'all gotta take it to the next level and be on the corner and meet your dealer so he can give you this freaking New Jersey Kush. Like, it's like, bro, like y'all, it's an addiction. Just call it what it is.
If you're gonna do it, take the proper protocols to do
just
it legally.
Do it legally. Do it legal and
legally.
safe. Just do it legally.
Are you guys familiar with the history on why weed is illegal? We're going to tell you the history of why weed is illegal.
Did you ever wonder why marijuana is illegal? It all started with William Randolph Hearst, a newspaper tycoon. In the 1930s, he launched a fear campaign, splashing headlines about the so-called dangers of reefer madness. But here's the twist. It had nothing to do with public health. You see, Hearst had business interest in the timber that made the wood pulp that made his newspapers, and the paper-making potential of hemp was a threat to his empire. So, he played on racist stereotypes, linking marijuana use to Mexican and black communities doing bad things. And this sparked fear and hysteria. The result, marijuana was demonized and outlawed, and this is the legacy that we're still untangling today.
What do you guys want to do? Like, what is your...
They wasn't even smoking it yet. They was just cutting down the trees and it was messing up his paper. Oh,
it's funny because even knowing the history of it, I still don't jack with it. Because
I don't either.
Because I know I got homies that have been smoking weed since we was in high school, and I feel like their minds is stuck in high school, dog. And it's just like, at the end of the day, please, if you gonna smoke it, go get your green card, go get it the legal way. Don't break no laws. Smoke in the comfort of your home.
Clear by your physician.
Yeah, do it. I don't care if you smoke it. Just do it the right way.
Yeah.
Just like I don't care if you drink. Just do it the right way.
And
Don't
do it
get
responsibly.
Don't get in a car with your alcohol and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Don't get in the weed with your super kush 3000, the weed that will knock you off your feet, and then go on a highway and crash and kill somebody. Just be responsible with it. That's all I'm saying.
Do you guys want to sell weed and that's the main business? You guys want to eventually open up a dispensary one day, or what do you guys want to get into one day?
Yeah, it ain't like I want to sell weed. I just don't want to be broke. I want to retire. I want to travel the world. I want to actually do something with my life. I don't want to be here forever.
Let's talk about the economics of a trap. Like, just say you have like a fantastic day of business. How much can someone clear?
Easily, for something like low scale like this, you could do $5,000 to $10,000 easily if you are really boss to the wall pushing it. But for somebody that's like really doing it, that's like they're shipping the packs themselves, they can make millions in a day.
Okay, so because I know there's a huge black market in Colorado, California, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's much easier to buy it in bulk from there, send it through the mail, and distribute it from that way.
They busted a lot of warehouses in California for
5 years
this.
ago, majority of what it was people making it to Colorado, Denver, driving back and forth with it. But they're getting probably, maybe not a worse product, but it's probably not as cheap.
Like, we were with another group earlier, and they were saying that people will rob each other over $100 worth of weed, $200 worth of weed. Like,
we got backbone around here. Like,
are robbing plugs? Is that something that happens often around here?
Yeah, you're about. So plugs, yes, people rob plugs in and out every day, but like people that actually have a backbone or stand on anything that they actually mean have a certain group of people that nobody's gonna do anything to, because that's your work.
That's why they got on them toolies. You could come try to rob me all, but guess what? You can snatch this weed, but this AR gonna hit you from 50 meters away. Let's see if you can get a mile before this bullet hits you. That's why they don't care no more. Police ain't gonna. A cop with a pistol is not gonna get in a shootout with no dude with an AR.
Yeah.
He gonna lose that fight every time. It's not worth it. That's why sometimes I saw a clip. The cop saw the dude he was trapping, looked out the window. Dude showed what he had. Cop said, "Hey man, shoot, y'all get our criminals got better guns than the cops. So the cops don't. It's not even worth it for them.
Making
no
their
more.
jobs harder.
It's not even worth it for them to risk it."
It's obvious when someone's trying to rob you. Like,
a lot of people feel, especially when we're on the res, a lot of people feel that South Dakota is a very racist place. That one, that it's racist, and two, in the criminal justice system, that if a native does a crime compared to a white guy, the native's gonna get a lot more time. Can you guys speak on your experience with that, whether you believe that, or what's your commentary on that?
for most of it, I really feel like it's where it's at, like who the people are and what is going on. I don't feel like it always comes down to the race of everything. I feel like sometimes it gets boiled out where people make it seem like that, or they just push this false narrative to make it like almost seem like everything was done wrong or some type of way, but I don't feel like it's always like that, but I feel like it definitely can be, because I've seen it. For example, like there was a little girl, like a 14-year-old girl that got ran over up here. Somebody got ran her over, fled to where he ran her over, repainted his truck, and they caught him, and then he got like a year of probation.
No.
A year of probation for what? Did you die?
For fleeing a hit and run?
For running over and killing a young girl.
Oh.
Hey, so he just, hey, I'm sorry, but homeboy in black, you just hold your homeboy in red statement, bruh. Cause I mean, he said, yeah, it can happen, but I feel like people inflate it, and then you tell me some dude hit a 14-year-old girl with his truck and only got a year after he fled the scene, repainted it, tried to like,
oh,
they not like us.
Wow.
And the feeling is that if the roles were reversed, a native man hit a white woman that was 14, he would have got life. All right, folks, this has been a look into Rapid City. Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Dang, boy. Hey, shout out to Tommy G for getting in there, but hey, man, it's a cold world. It's sad. This is heartbreaking, if anything, because it's heartbreaking because it's just like every hood got the same story.
Yeah.
And it's sad because black hoods got this story, the natives got this story, the Mexicans got this story. Every hood got this story, and it's just like, bro, when are we gonna start just like in everybody's neighborhood just start stepping up and being like, all right, it ends here, like it stops with us. You feel me? But hey, man, if y'all like the video, please show some love to his page, show some love to us. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Pray over your loved ones.
Hey, pray for your loved ones.